Welcome to Spiritual Psychic with Sarah Wiseman, where you'll learn how to unlock the secrets of spiritual intuition and your own psychic gifts. Here's Sarah.
Welcome to Spiritual Psychic. I'm Sarah Wiseman. Today we're talking about the 33 lessons. When do we experience disconnection? And this we're working from lesson 6, which is disconnection and connection. What's interesting to me again is that at the time of this writing, at the time of this receiving or channeling, again, like internet, phones and things, they were pretty new. We were not in this onslaught of social media as we are now. We didn't have these entire political and news systems running through social media so that we don't know, what's what's fake news or real news or any of that. This was before that time. So I find it interesting today, going back and looking at this, going, oh, this was a little bit foretelling of what was to come. So what this lesson says very clearly is electronica, which is the name that they gave for social media and computer, is not true. This is a way only of manipulating energies. The internet as an obsession and distraction is not true, but it is a tool for connection. It is the sign of what is new. And then this also, what is new is people becoming the leaders rather than the leaders leading. This is the new way. The people will lead themselves. And this is what we are beginning to see the sproutings of, or the bud of this flower that's starting to bloom. The people will lead themselves because we're able to connect with each other. So what's happening is, first, as all of the electronica comes around, we experience connection that stems from personality. We experience the connection of personality. And then later, as we move through this and we grow, we begin to discern and do this sorting and sifting of what's dark and what's light. What we are, we begin to see where the group thought is and where the cults are. We begin to look at our own experiences of all of the ways of being that we're living. We begin to do this complete soul inquiry. And what we begin to understand is that while at first what was connecting in electronica was the personality, now we're beginning to understand that the electronica is a tool by which souls are connecting. And this is a new thing. This is the awakening of the collective soul. Suddenly people are like, there's people all over this world. And we all have something that when we connect to each other, we feel it. When we connect to each other, we know ourselves as more than just the personalities. And this is happening even when there's negativity. We're beginning to see each other differently. And then what's beginning to happen is the soul collective is beginning to sort itself as to what parts are dark, what parts are light, or different words might be what parts are low vibration, what parts are high vibration, what parts are contracted, what parts are expanded. And we're beginning to see this sorting even now as collective. Of course, the more higher vibration, expanded soul collective recognizes it, we recognize each other as ourselves in this higher level. And of course, because we're all one soul collective, the darkness is also lifted. The lower vibration is also lifted. Everything goes to levity always wins over gravity. The higher level vibration always is what pulls, like this giant tractor beam, everything in the room. So the bigger thing is disconnecting from oneness. We still aren't practiced in, we can totally know ourselves as personalities. And sometimes we remember that we're souls. And sometimes we remember that we're part of collective soul. But all these things in the world that are still personality based, still group thought based or cult based, begin to, keep distracting us from our true connection. And then, of course, also we even if you are at a very high level in your evolution, we can't be in this state of complete expansion all the time. Part of our human experience is that we're always going to be knocked down into suffering. Even the most, or even especially, some of the most developed people are going to be knocked down into suffering. Suffering is disconnection from God. And so how do we manage this? Where are the places where we tend to disconnect? And what are the processes that we can connect again? And this is what we're learning in this particular lesson. You can get the 33 lessons as part of my book, Writing the Divine, or you can also get the audio as a course, the 33 lessons, which you can find at sarahwiseman.com.